Davenant.
And Roxy Sadoli of Nerd Roller Skates,
Calgary, Alberta's full-service skate shop.
We are roller derby players and roller skate nerds.
And we are here for people who roll.
Welcome to Game 2 of the MRDA Championships Maritime Mayhem in beautiful Tacoma. I'm Ophelia Mellons.
I'm Julia Sleazer.
All right, and we just saw the matchup of the first-ranked team at the tournament, your mom, going up against the number 8 Denton County Outlaws. Widely in favor of your mom.
Sure.
But, hey, game number 2 is going to pit the number 2 team, St. Louis Gatekeepers, against number 7, coming all the way from the UK, Southern Discomfort. Fun fact, every team at this tournament is more southerly than Southern Discomfort.
Yeah, it's true. I was talking to somebody and they said, where is Southern Discomfort from? Tennessee or something? I said, no, they're actually from London.
Yeah. Yep.
They are the first European entrants into the MRD Championships, as you may have noticed.
Yes, and because of that, they're a little bit of an unknown factor here. You can watch footage. They were certainly here for Spring Roll earlier in May, but with the international teams, this is a little bit of a challenge. You know, I bet from the Gatekeepers we're going to see them being a little apprehensive to feel each other out, especially on this track with a hardwood floor. It's very different. It's very grippy. These guys are skating really fast. But they're also able to cut a lot more.
Right. This is much different of a floor from the Gatekeepers venue. For my Gatekeeper fans who have been there, they have a pretty slick floor. This is a very grippy floor. We can see how they're going to adapt to it. Something about Southern Discomfort and the Gatekeepers is that both teams have some of their international players. Several Gatekeepers are from Team USA. Several of Southern Discomfort are from Team Britain.
Right.
So you might recognize some names if you saw men's roller derby world champs a few months ago. But
yeah, and these teams have played each other once before, and that's going back to May at the 2014 Spring Roll. In that case, St. Louis took it handily, some 279 to 66, but things change, training changes, and when you're getting ready for your first real MRDA championship,
right.
I mean, it's game on. And also recently, St. Louis, just at RollerCon, they beat both Bridgetown and New York Stock Exchange, so that's real big for them. And they're coming into this tournament real hot. You know them quite well.
I know them pretty well.
How did they prepare?
I'm not positive if they did extra practices or changed strategy, but I imagine they, having had some experience with these several of these teams, they would have kept in mind, watched some footage, and adopted their practices to work against those teams. And that's what I'm hoping to see is some strategy specifically for playing against Southern Discomfort, or some strategy changing as they move through the tournament. I think that's something we're going to see with all of the teams, of course. But I think, generally speaking, that's what I got.
St. Louis obviously is going to be heavily favored, ranking-wise, statistically-wise, but I know everybody's here is so excited to see So Disco take the track. I mean, everyone's thrilled to have him here. During the opening ceremonies, if you will, they did the UK, God Save the Queen, and they were all standing by their flag and looked so proud. It was really cute.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to wrap it up here. So coming at you right now is St. Louis Gatekeepers versus Southern Discomfort. Tell your friends, watch it live on WFTDA. I'm Ophelia Mellons.
And I'm Julius Leeser.
And we're on air talking just now. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Randy Pan, the Goat Boy.
And I'm Bangers and Smash.
And we are excited to call this next bout here. Very excited to see Southern Discomfort. That's the talk of the weekend as far as going international now. Very excited to see what they bring. They are taking on St. Louis Gatekeepers, so they're going to have their work cut out for them. What are you expecting to see? What are you hoping to see on this Smash?
Well, I know that these two teams came together earlier in the year. Obviously, Gatekeepers came out on top in that one, as they said previously at the break in between there. But Southern Discomfort coming with some additional guys that weren't able to come over earlier in the year, and getting a fresh start against the Gatekeepers could make a difference. They were late into the tournament when they came up against the Gatekeepers at Spring Roll, so let's see if it makes a difference for them starting fresh.
They were on Game 7, I believe, of their 7-game stretch there, so it might have been worn down. And yes, I agree with Ophelia. Odds favor Gatekeepers on this, but I expect a lot stronger of the game than probably Gatekeepers seeing before. Gatekeepers, however, coming in full strength, coming in with a really strong roster here coming in there. The talk is they might be the ones to pull the upset against your mom. So I know they're going to want to stake their claim in this first bout. In any case, everyone's going to be really cheering on Southern Discomfort. Everyone's really excited that they're here. And see what kind of impact they make inside the MRDA rankings here at the championships. Let's go through rosters really quick here for you. Southern Discomfort Roller Derby, we got 101 Blitzkrieg, number 13 Monsieur Furio, 14 Samdroid, 17 Berserker, 1-Up Shrooms, number 3 Sutton Impact, number 33 Roland Stoner, number 380 Flat Track Bully, number 515 Piston Broke, number 6283 Spectral Aberration, number 666 Reaper, number 78 Hookslinger, number 8 Henry the Skate, number M16 Ballistic Whistle, coach of London's WFTA team, who has had a lot of success with them.
Alrighty, and for the St. Louis Gatekeepers, we've got number 0260 Spin Diesel, number 1 The Saint, number 11 Debaucherous Prime, number 1B Banana on Skates, number 24 Nat King Kill, number 314 Double XL, number 32 Shane Bauer, number 5150 Inquadable Hulk, number 618 Bled Zeppelin, number 66 Screech Around, number 73 Stark, number 82 Percy Control, number 86D Wreckin' Bill, and number L7 Magnum PIMP.
Also on the bench there for Southern Discomfort is Betty Swellix, and working the track is Black Star. No surprise in the lineup there for you watching. It's green on black. There is the St. Louis Gatekeepers, and that is L7 Magnum PIMP jamming first, and number 13 for Southern Discomfort, Monsieur Frayot.
And the first whistle is blown, both jammers into the wall and getting hung up, and Magnum PIMP is taken to the outside, going to recycle.
Furio up against the 4-wall in front, trying to wedge his way through, but great defense. He finds a way underneath the inside. Lead jammer goes to Southern Discomfort. We've
already got our first penalty as Wrecking Bill is headed off to the penalty box for the Gatekeepers, but Magnum PIMP has cleared the pack and now eligible to score.
Did not see the call there. Already picked off one. Sutton picked off one. Furio calls it off. Big spill in the turn. A late hit, I believe. Illegal procedure is going to be issued for that. 3 points picked up by Southern Discomfort.
And that was a multiplayer block on Wrecking Bill. That sent him off to the penalty box. So the Gatekeepers will start down a blocker as we go into the next jam, and so will Southern Discomfort. Up to jam, we've got number 666 Reaper and number 11 Debaucherous Prime. The whistle has blown. Both jammers just kind of hanging out behind the jam line, looking for a way through the pack. and Reaper taken out quickly by the Saint and recycled.
Porm, a.k.a. Prime, got sent out to the outside, recycling up against the front wall, up against Spectral Aberration, and number 33, Rolling Stoner in front.
And Reaper recycles once again, and now through, coming around the outside line onto toe stops, out and lead Jammer.
Cut track picked up by Porter on the inside as he was trying to make his first pass. It's a power jam for Southern Discomfort.
That's it, and now Reaper back into the pack with a nice jump over the apex. Lands a foot in, but then goes to the outfield or infield, so he's going to have to recycle and make his way back through.
Southern Discomfort go for a trap offense. They pick off the Inquadable Hulk. No, that is Bill there. Bill that just got picked off there.
Reaper having a real bad time at the front of the pack there with Percy Control laying all over him. He gets taken to the infield. He's going to recycle back and have to start over again.
Rolling Stoner went for a little bit of offense there, but that didn't get through before the cycle, so Reaper trying to readjust his attack.
And Porter back from the penalty box trying to make his way through too. I heard a whistle blow.
Did not get much out of that power jam, however, got a full 5-point scoring pass there for that. Wow. St. Louis put on the defense in that nice power jam kill, only holding it to the 1 scoring pass.
And it looks like that was at the end there, that whistle was for 5:15. Piston broke, going for a back block call to the penalty box.
That will do it. MI6, sorry. That's a different M16. MI6 there, ballistic whistle jamming, and I believe we got a multiplayer going up front there.
And Shane Bauer breaks the front side of the pack for St. Louis. Lead jammer is Bauer, but he's going to go ahead and call it off, as right behind him was a jammer from Southern Discomfort.
Wow, yeah, Ballistic Whistle was right on them. Contesting something there, Ballistic, who's used to talking to referees, definitely was arguing a case there, but it just looked like 2 jammers got out, forced the call off. Southern Discomfort off to a great start here.
Yeah, the points remain at 0-8. Southern Discomfort with the lead right now. Number 66, Screech Around, up for the St. Louis Gatekeepers, going to look to make this change up here.
Monsieur Furio back up.
And lead jammer goes to Screech Around. It was easy to kind of make it around that pack with just 1 blocker in for Southern Discomfort.
And yet we're just going to hold it to 1 scoring pass, as there's only 2 blockers in there, and all 5 points go up for Southern Discomfort. I love it. The jammer was holding up 3 points. Like, I got 3 points, and then he actually got the full 5.
I'm sure he was happy with that decision there, right?
It didn't seem like he was fighting too hard for that.
Number L7, Magnum PIMP with the star for the Gatekeepers. Number 666, Reaper up for Southern Discomfort.
Not surprisingly, we're seeing a pretty tight jammer rotation up front. 3-2 blocker advantage for St. Louis.
Magnum PIMP makes quick work of it. Lead jammer going to the Gatekeepers once again.
Quick transition offense for London, but Reaper hit to the inside.
Meanwhile, Magnum PIMP comes back through the pack and right along the outside takes 5 easy points for the Gatekeepers.
And everyone's back from the penalty box, and as everyone was getting adjusted, Reaper was able to take advantage of the chaos to find an opening.
Pimp, meanwhile, back around and through, calls off the jam. Another 4 points on the board for the Gatekeepers. We've got our first lead change here, 8-14. The Gatekeepers now in the lead.
Hopefully first of many. This is a fun little matchup we're seeing here.
Pack back up to full strength after many penalties shown on both sides of the board here. So we're going to see how it goes when we've got all 5 players on the track. Number MI6 Ballistic Whistle out on the track for Southern Discomfort, and number 11 Porter for the Gatekeepers as the whistle gets blown.
Porter, a.k.a. Prime. Porter picking off one at a time. Defense resets in the front. Sutton on him. Gets around the outside. Does not go out. Lead jammer.
Ballistic Whistle, meanwhile, stuck in the pack, but makes it round. Percy Control, and now eligible to score.
Sudden impact, great offensive screen there, making that opening, going from defense to offense there.
And 2 points picked up for Porter as he came through into the pack, called off the jam quickly, did not want to give up any points.
Yeah, Whistle was coming out super fast. That guy has speed. So 16-8, still very, very close.
Gatekeeper's going to start one down, the Saint in the penalty box for out of play penalty. Lined up, we've got number 32, Shane Bauer, taking on number 13, Mr. Furio.
Mr. Furio. Shane Bauer, lead jammer, right away.
Right behind him, Mr. Furio is chasing him down. Now he's getting some length of distance between the two, so I think he's going to go in for some points.
Well, Bled Zeppelin 618 did the right thing, picked off at least one blocker, 1 point. So far as close as it is going to make every difference. So nice little trap offense for a quick point there.
And we're ready to go. It's a lot of sixes on the jam line. Number 66, Screech around for the Gatekeepers, taking on number 666, Reaper for Southern Discomfort with the star this time.
Southern Discomfort had the first two. Southern Discomfort had the first two lead jams, but now
Gatekeepers have been doing it, that's for sure. But the Screech around now at the front of the pack, having to really fight to get lead jammer this time, but he is out and now lead jammer.
Reaper finds an inside track, loves to hop the apex, finally gets through initial pass.
And Screech coming back in for points. He runs right into Piston Broke, and then he's going to go ahead and call off the jam. Does manage to pick up 1 point during the pass there.
So far, only one jam so far has had multiple scoring passes. That was for... You've ruined me. You've ruined me, Phil. Producer Phil Dirt. He's got me saying now. He's counting my uhs, so now I can't stop saying
Writing little notes for you. L7 Magnum PIMP taking on MI6 Ballistic Whistle. We've seen these two together before. Let's see how it comes out. Ballistic Whistle tries to go through the inside line, taking to the infield, quickly recycles.
Magnum PIMP taking advantage of the inside after all, as Ballistic Whistle gets taken to the outside.
Yeah, Ballistic Whistle being recycled way, way far back.
Magnum PIMP opens up the front wall by himself for a quick scoring pass.
And Ballistic Whistle now makes it out of the pack, eligible to score. So have a feeling that PIMP is going to shut it down.
Beautiful offensive attack by number 24, Nat King Kill. Just pushed open the inside line for PIMP, making his job way easier for that next scoring pass. 26-0 for St. Louis in the last 6 jams. Southern Discomfort made their impact early on, but lead jammers really holding it down for Southern Discomfort right now.
Yeah, very good awareness by the Gatekeepers of where the other jammer is so that they can get out of the jam before any points are earned. This time we've got number 11, Debaucherous Prime Reporter, as his jersey says, jamming for the Gatekeepers. Taking on number 13, Monsieur Furio.
Yeah, he's working all by himself there against that wall. The offense is in front trying to position itself, but...
And Debaucherous Prime out lead jammer along the outside line.
Monsieur Furio 2 to beat. They squish up in front, but he's pushing out, and I believe there's going to be a call there somewhere, probably a low block. Yes, indeed, there it is.
And that's Stark headed off for a low block. Also, Gatekeepers losing Inquadable Halt to the penalty box, so they're down 2 blockers. Oh, and Percy Control off to the penalty box. They're down 3 blockers.
That was a beautiful force out by Blitzkrieg on Porter there. I think Porter's waiting to get some reinforcements before pushing this jam any further.
And going to go ahead and call off the jam. 4 points picked up on that pass by the Gatekeepers.
We're setting up for a 4-2 advantage for Southern Discomfort in this next jam. A great opportunity for them to capitalize. Most importantly, get lead jammer. Get that lead jammer game back a little bit that they started off with.
Absolutely, and at some point, Percy's going to have to leave the track as well to report to the penalty box. So they know that they're going to keep him down probably at least for 30 seconds. We get into the next one is Shane Bauer taking on Reaper. Shane Bauer right into the wall of Southern Discomfort blockers and hung up as Reaper is looking for a hole. Makes it around the outside, past Percy Control, and now lead Jammer making it past the last of the Gatekeeper blockers there.
Took 3 hits. Now Nat King kills, picking up the star to intend to force a call off. Wow, does Reaper love jumping the apex? He does successfully. Probably going to grab 4 for that. It's just like any pass, Reaper's coming through, whether they're on the straightaway, on the apex, whether he's jamming or not, he's looking to jump it. He doesn't
just
care.
going to jump past everybody.
He doesn't care. He's going to jump it.
And we're going to line him up again. Number 66, Screech Around, up against number MI6, Ballistic Whistle.
That's a first points in 8 jams there for Southern Discomfort.
Well, now you know they're looking to put some more on the board, and Ballistic Whistle off the line, finds a line right up the middle of the pack there. Lead jammer going to Southern Discomfort.
That was Shrooms with the beautiful offensive screen who jumps right on defense and takes out Gatekeepers jammer twice.
And Ballistic Whistle comes into the pack, makes it look easy with his footwork, runs right through, picks up 5 points for Southern Discomfort. And again for another 4 points.
This time taking advantage of Gatekeeper's offense, Ballistic Whistle found an easy pass.
And I apologize, that was 5 on the last pass for Ballistic Whistle. And again, another 5 as Southern Discomfort doing a really good job holding up Screech Around, and now Screech Around off to the penalty box for a cutting the track penalty. So this is a power jam for Southern Discomfort.
Led Zeppelin finally waits a force out on Ballistic. Ballistic was able to get past him on the last pass. And now the defense is finally reset as they have nothing else to do right now.
Southern Discomfort lost Blitzkrieg to the penalty box as well for a multiplayer block. And meanwhile, Ballistic Whistle fighting along through the pack picks up another 5 points for Southern Discomfort.
That was Shrooms, number 1 up with the screen on the inside. Opened up all 4 players. Shrooms is the one that's making it happen for this jam.
Ballistic Whistle comes in, takes a big hit, backs off and back through. Screech Around coming back in, and Shrooms really laying into him, holding him up.
Again, Shrooms on the offense, Shrooms on the defense. Now Shrooms going to the penalty box, which is a bummer because, man, he was doing all the work there.
Whistle goes in and calls off the jam. We have another lead change, 30-36. Southern Discomfort really making a strong comeback during that jam.
Great skating by Ballistic Whistle on there, finding the openings, but, man, got to throw it down for Shrooms on that jam. He was the offense, he was the defense, he was always in the right place all the time. Total playmaker on that jam. Great work. That's 24 points, on that jam. And we have a timeout. Assuming, I don't have the official word, but I'm assuming it is as everyone's out there, I'm assuming a team timeout for the Gatekeepers, which is what you do.
Yeah, they need to get back in to figure out their strategy there, see what's going on. We've had a number of penalties on both sides of the team. Piston broke already up to 4 penalties with 15 minutes remaining
in the first half.
In the first half of the bout, yeah. On the other side, we've got only 1 gatekeeper with more than 1 penalty at the moment, but a lot of penalties overall on the whole team. We're at 1. I can't do math.
Yeah, it's 8-8 right now, so it's even. What was really holding it down for St. Louis, I mean, both teams are executing great. St. Louis was capitalizing on lead jam to push the score up. Big jam right there, courtesy of Shrooms, big time.
And back into the action now. Stoner picking up a back block for Southern Discomfort as the jammer. That means it's a power jam for the Gatekeepers.
He was going for a force out, but Magnum PIMP set himself up to have his back to him at the hit, forcing the back block call.
And now Magnum PIMP going to take advantage of this and get the points back where the Gatekeepers want him. He's already through and lead jammer, and now going in for some score.
Gatekeepers doing a great job of dividing the defense here, keeping it really easy for PIMP to do his thing.
And there were 5 more points as PIMP coming back into the pack, and another 5 points.
And since it didn't matter whether his helmet cover was on or off, Stoner was able to sneak through and put his jam cap on.
But Magnum PIMP saw him coming up behind, going to go ahead and end the jam with 2 more points for the Gatekeepers, so another lead change. 37-47, Gatekeepers once again in the lead.
This is fun.
This is very fun. The boys from the UK really bringing in a good game for us to watch here today, and not making it easy for the Gatekeepers to take the game here.
Monsieur Froyot taking on Prime Porter. There was a discussion of jammer swimming during the timeout and diving through the pack, so we might actually see some forearms start coming up a little bit more for the jammers.
Now, as the whistle was getting ready to be blown, Spin Diesel sent to the penalty box. Monsieur Furio then goes off when the whistle blows and is taken into the inside and recycled.
He had a nice hop there. Looks like a takeout to Prime from Sudden Impact, which was up to his knee.
And lead jammer is Monsieur Furio, and he's on his way back into the pack looking to score some points and maybe make another lead change happen here.
Number 17 for 7, Discomfort getting on the offense there. Berserker.
And there's the first 5 more points for Southern Discomfort during this jam. Doing a really good job holding up Debaucher's Prime is number 17, Berserker.
And he's trading off with Hooks Linger. Finally, Porter gets around the inside of Hooks for his initial pass.
Monsieur Furio, meanwhile, through, does pick up 4 more points. I have a feeling that it probably cut off the jam, maybe, or no, he's going for it. Passes Porter into the pack, calls it off, does pick up 3 more points on the pass.
And I'm sorry, those 3 points in that lead jam is on Porter. Porter should have been hustling up to the pack, forced the call off earlier, forced at least not giving up his own point, let alone the points up there. I don't know if he just wasn't aware where he was or that his points were at stake, though. But they could have held that at the 1-point lead there. But we appreciate the lead changes. It makes our job easier.
Absolutely do. It's Bowers versus Reaper as we get into the next jam. Shane Bauer into the pack, gets taken out by
Spectral Aberration. Just put his whole body into it.
But Bauer recovers quickly, makes his way through. He is lead jammer for the Gatekeepers.
Reaper made it through the outside without an apex jump. Very impressed by his control there on that pass.
Bauer comes in, meets up again with Spectral Aberration, calls off the jam, picks up 2 points for the Gatekeepers.
And Reaper, after the jam, tried to jump the outside apex because
Just
why
because,
not?
Yeah.
Great. Want to give a shout out to Stoner and Bully. They're holding the. Oh my goodness.
You just looked at the score, right?
Yeah. I just saw the tie game. I was shouting out to Bully and Stoner for defending the points and protecting the points there, and they prevented the next lead change that would have happened there from their awareness.
They did Ballistic Whistle versus Screech around. As we get into this, let's see who's going to take the lead this time, Will. Who's going to move back into the lead? Ballistic Whistle trying to come in here, is able to come back in, it looks like, without picking up a cutting the track penalty. He
stepped in, we heard a whistle. We're like, did he? Did he? No, did he? No. It's a tale of 2 cycles right now as both jammers were cycled back, and it looks like a forearm is picked up by Ballistic Whistle, and it might be because of the timeout where they were talking about the swimming and the diving, and I mentioned that might be a thing, and that might be a condition of it.
It might. So Screech able to get out, get lead jammer for the Gatekeepers, and now coming back in for some score. Some really good offense by the Gatekeepers blockers out there.
Gatekeepers are great about dividing the defense as soon as they get that power jam and capitalizing. However,
Screech around off to the penalty box for cutting the track. That means the power jam is over, and Ballistic Whistle is going to come back in. It also means that this jam will go through to its natural conclusion.
So it looks like Gatekeepers trying to play defense/offense at the same time.
Ballistic Whistle coming in, taking some really big hits from Nat King Kill to the inside, and then all of Southern Discomfort blockers are like, no, don't beat up on our jammer.
Man, Southern Discomfort's game plan is on point. They're where they need to be when they need to be. Their transition offense is great.
Piston Broke really doing a good job holding Nat King Kill at the back of the pack there, hoping Ballistic Whistle can escape out of there. But as he comes through the pack, Led Zeppelin with a nice hit takes out Ballistic Whistle.
And that was a really short power jam for Southern Discomfort, and they were able to take advantage of it for St. Louis. Taking advantage, Screech was able to take advantage of the separated offense for a quick pass.
Jam comes to an end. It looks like we've got 5 for Southern Discomfort, 2 for the Gatekeepers on those passes.
Oh my goodness, so it looks like it will be an official, yes, we're going to go for the lead change here. As St. Louis is up 2 points. We have an official timeout. I don't believe it's a review. No, it looks like it might be a review as Magna PIMP has some stuff to say. Oh, to Ogre.
Very exciting game that we're getting going on here.
If that was a review, that was a quickly called review. We'll get up to date for you. Ladies and gentlemen, at home, I hope you are enjoying this bout. Because if not, go to the doctor. You have a problem. You need to seek help. We're going to thank some people right now. The Jam Line sponsor, Nerd Skates Jammer Line. For the last year, we have dedicated our time into creating something special that will change the wheel game as you know it. Make sure you are receiving notifications from us as well as following us on Instagram. And at Green Monster, GRNMNSTR Roller Sports for more information. All right, looks like we're getting the update as far as what the review is. We're going to check into our producer right here. We're going to play a little telephone, so we hope the... All right, Phil Dirt here with the update.
All right, St. Louis is challenging the out-of-play penalty on 618. They don't believe he was actually out of play, so we'll get that reviewed, and if he comes out of the penalty box, you know it was overturned. If he stays there, the call on the floor stands.
Well, I heard the game on whistle call while everybody was still conferenced in the middle there, and I see the 5 seconds being held up, so I'm going to guess that the refs say call stands as we get back into the next jam. It's number L7 Magnum PIMP jamming for the Gatekeepers up against number 13 Monsieur Furiot.
Monsieur Furiot taking back. Oh, PIMP. Oh, sorry. No, it was Spectral. Spectral Aberration gets the direction of play for going back.
But PIMP is going to go ahead and take lead jammer for the Gatekeepers.
Monsieur Furiot rides his wake out for his initial pass.
Southern Discomfort down a blocker, so Magnum PIMP going to take advantage of a down blocker on the track and make his way through for 4 points for the Gatekeepers, increasing the ever so slight lead they have. Only 6 points separating the two teams right now.
Well, I'm not particularly fond of the review that was called for Gatekeepers. They only had a 1 blocker disadvantage, and they wasted it with 10 minutes left in this first period. But it didn't have any impact on them. They still got out. They still got lead jammer, so it didn't hurt them. But that review might come in handy a little later. Porter Prime, number 11, jamming for Gatekeepers.
And number 101, Blitzkrieg up to jam for Southern Discomfort. And Blitzkrieg looking to make a hole at the front there, but Led Zeppelin shuts him down, takes him to the infield.
Direction of play there on Piston Broke. That's going to be at least number 5 for him in this first half.
And meanwhile, we've got Debaucherous Prime out and a lead jammer for the Gatekeepers.
Monsieur Furiot finds an outside lane, almost all the way around, slides into home.
And there we go, through for 5, Debaucherous Prime right along the inside. Nobody even saw him coming into the pack, apparently.
Oh, we have had a jammer handoff to Blitzkrieg there. That was Blitzkrieg on the last pass. Meanwhile,
5 more points for Debaucherous Prime. And he's already back into the pack, looking to get on through for another 5. Gets hung up by Sutton and Spectral Aberration there.
Shroom's trying to force out, does to the inside, sending him back, but Blitzkrieg's going back too. Still initial pass.
And Spectral Aberration there picking up a direction of play on the block for Debaucherous Prime. So Southern Discomfort down 1 blocker.
That's 2 direction of plays and 2 jams for Spectral Aberration.
Debaucherous Prime gets hung up by Sutton at the front of the pack, recycled back behind the track and now out. Meanwhile, we've got the Jammer Star passed to...
Blitzkrieg was the jammer to start with. I misinformed you. I apologize about that. Handed it off to Piston Broke, who was able to break out. Big jam there for Gatekeepers.
So what you're saying is Piston broke the pack? No. Horrible announcer humor first thing in the morning, right? Alrighty, Gatekeepers continuing to increase their lead, 54-75. We're about to get ready to go again. Number 32, Shane Bauer, taking on number MI6 Ballistic Whistle as we get into the next jam.
That's 4 lead jams in a row there for St. Louis, and that's the game with them right now. 28-6 to 5 on the last 6 jams there.
Shane Bauer really put up a fight at the front side of the pack, breaks through lead jammer. We get a...
I thought it was an out-of-play call in the front. It was just a warning.
Ballistic Whistle really being managed at the back of the pack here. The Gatekeepers able to send him back twice now already.
314 with double XL. That was a multiplayer block there.
Another 5 points on the board for Shane Bauer as he makes getting through the pack look easy.
Another hit to the inside on Ballistic Whistle. That was courtesy of 82 Percy Control.
Shane Bauer getting a little bit of trouble this time as he comes through a flat track bully, really laying into him, doesn't want to let him through.
And the opening finally presented itself to Ballistic Whistle and made a quick pass for an initial. Going for it on the last pull there, and it's going to be 5-0 on that last one. Whistle saw the call off coming and was racing for it to try to grab at least 1 point out of it. Just a bit outside. Now the real Monsieur Furio.
Up against Screech Around for the Gatekeepers. Gatekeepers down 1 blocker, so Southern Discomfort with a slight advantage as we get into the jam.
Nice shrugging out an outside hit there for lead jam, which really they needed right now for Southern Discomfort.
Screech Around, though, going to make it through the pack and not give Monsieur Furio much chance to score, but Monsieur Furio does get through for 4 points for Southern Discomfort.
Found the outside again there on that last pass. And here comes Magnum PIMP. Big jam the last time he stepped out there that really kind of pushed the lead for St. Louis and took this out of a back-and-forth game.
I'm going to bet you that somebody's going to jump something this time, though, because number 666 Reaper on the jam line for Southern Discomfort.
That sounded dirty. Reaper up against the row. Reaper just calmly looking at his opportunity here. And PIMP just gets one direction, gets the other, removed. Oh!
Inquadable Hulk and Double XL able to force a cut the track penalty on Reaper. So power jam for Magnum PIMP, and the Gatekeepers will be looking to increase their lead here.
Spectral Aberration gets a multiplayer block out of that pass. And once again, Gatekeepers, great job all over splitting the defense.
Double XL off the track as well for a direction of gameplay penalty as Magnum PIMP with a nice little side bend around the outside there. 5 more points on the board for the Gatekeepers.
Roland Stoner going as well. St. Louis going to push the lead with this one.
Absolutely. Southern Discomfort bleeding blockers is not going to help. Now Reaper has returned to the track and still got to get through. There it is. There's the jump. Through and eligible to score, so Magnum PIMP back in now, looking to put more points on the board for the Gatekeepers. Is going to go ahead and shut it down after passing that last blocker. That's going to be 4 more points for the Gatekeepers.
Wow, big run there. 104 to 58. It was just a few minutes ago that this was a very tight game, but just in a few jams. Lead jammer, big jams, penalties hurting Southern Discomfort. I'll allow the Gatekeepers to run away with this a little bit.
And we get into the next jam. Monsieur Furio and Shane Bauer jamming this time. Whistle's already being blown, and that whistle you just heard was for lead jammer to Shane Bauer for the Gatekeepers.
70. Oh, another jammer penalty. And again, one of those forearms, the warning about the swimming.
5 more points for Shane Bauer, who is now in a power jam. Again, St. Louis really going to take advantage of this 30 seconds to increase their lead.
18 penalties for Southern Discomfort, 17 for Gatekeepers. Really, really close on penalties. A few more jammer penalties than Southern Discomfort would want.
And spinning to win, it's Shane Bauer putting up 5 more points for the Gatekeepers as he spins right around Blitzkrieg there to clear the rest of the pack.
Easy outside pass there, slipped through, dodged the hit, 5 more points.
The Gatekeepers blockers doing a really good job keeping one of Southern Discomfort's blockers behind them during that power jam. So that was why the pack didn't move a whole lot and just kept stretching out. But now both jammers are back on the track and fighting for getting out of this pack. And there's some really hefty hits going on in there. Yeah,
it looked like Sutton with the force out to the outside and calls it as Mr. Furio's going to the penalty box for a multiplayer block, which is usually when that's a jammer, that's an assist from the outside that someone was going to in for where they make contact. We got a team timeout for Southern Discomfort for pretty obvious reasons. I think they need to stop the penalties. They need to stop the jammer penalties big time. Jammer penalties and lead jammer, that is what's really, really keeping.
It looks like we're actually getting an official review. I think perhaps Southern Discomfort does not feel that multiplayer block was correct. That's going to be my best guess, considering that's the only thing that happened recently for Southern Discomfort that they can challenge at this point in time.
I consider that an incredibly educated guess.
Well, thank you.
Yes, no, that's almost definitely what's going on there. We're going to check in on that really quick here for you. Yes, I was just saying, execution-wise, the one-on-one execution is great from the Gatekeepers. That's no surprise to anyone. But they're really, really locking down on splitting the defense. That's their main gameplay together, but they're getting lead jammer like crazy, and they're keeping their jammers on the track. It's 75-9 on the last 8 jams.
And you could see that as you look at the score, you know.
It's just been heard clarification. Yes, indeed, the review is about the multiplayer block call. That is a fabulous guess.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Phil Dirk, for confirming that for us. That was the official word from our referee announcer, I guess we call her.
Yeah.
Ninja?
Now that's with 40 seconds left in the first half. Great review. It's definitely contestable. It's definitely one of those calls that you can probably get another opinion on. It looks like the call is going to stand, however, and we are going to start this probably last jam of this first period.
I'm going to guess that with 30 seconds in the box, because he went to the box after the whistle, we're going to get at least 30 seconds on this jam from St. Louis. And then they'll probably just burn the clock with the lead that they've got.
Yeah. Well, very clearly, Southern Discomfort putting themselves up front. They're going to want to protect points and stay together and go defense.
Magnum PIMP jamming for the Gatekeepers off the line, makes it quickly up to the pivot line and through for lead jammer.
Another multiplayer block. A lot of these starting to be picked up now.
And Magnum PIMP right along the inside. Good help from his team members. He's able to just move right through. Another 5 points for the Gatekeepers there.
Yeah, that was great team gameplay. They all went in to open up the inside line. They were ready for that.
And now the Magnum PIMP with a very nice jump there, showing that the Gatekeepers can jump too. Puts another 5 on the board for St. Louis.
I mean, he jumped his own teammates, really. They set up the wall, and he jumped his own wall. You know, because why not?
Yeah, why not? Magnum PIMP coming back in for another scoring pass. Monsieur Furio back on the track, getting taken out by Stark and recycled by Stark.
And Gatekeepers still putting their money on offense, and it's working out as PIMP gets through for another scoring pass.
Spectral Aberration, meanwhile, off to the penalty box for a forearms call. That's going to bring him up to 4 penalties.
Beautiful set play to get the pivot through, who is now holding the jammer cap on the outside.
And Magnum PIMP now through for another 5. He knows Stoner's got the star, but he's going to go ahead and continue skating as Stoner goes for a cutting the track and an insubordination call. That's going to be 1 minute penalty. We've still got 28 seconds in the jam. Magnum PIMP says, let's go ahead and start with a power jam in the next half instead of continuing this jam.
I'm guessing that insubordination was not from leaving the track too quick, because it was very, very quick for that second insubordination call to come. Usually it takes a second for the insubordination if you're going to leave late. So maybe something was said in that last penalty there.
All we can do is suppose on that one. So
I'm not gonna read any further into that. First half of the first half, incredible for Southern Discomfort, keeping it really close. Great dynamic gameplay. The blockers were really tuned into everything that was going on. A lot of offense, defense, a couple of big jams. The Gatekeepers holding it down with keeping their jammers on the track. Really, really killing it on the lead jam game. Great execution and really capitalizing on the power jams when they get them. And in the second half, they just took advantage and pushed far away. It's going to be very difficult for Southern Discomfort to come back to this one.
It is too, especially if Southern Discomfort continues to pick up the penalties. They've already got 2 blockers sitting at 5 penalties each and one with 4, whereas the Gatekeepers have only 1 with 3. At this point in time, so the chances of Southern Discomfort losing players during the second half, who they've been depending on, could foul up their chances of changing up that score as we get into it.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be difficult. They're going to have to take the lesson for the first half going into the second half, and even if they do, it's still going to be a long road to come back from. However, it sets them up very well for the rest of the tournament. They have a great opportunity to make huge impact on the MRDA rankings in general, climbing up from, they're coming in 7. But if they play, they can take what they took out of the first 15 minutes of this bout and either learn from it, push it into the second period, but more importantly, take it into, if they odds don't favor them right now, so that we're going to probably see them a little later in the day. But if they can take that into later in the day, they could probably get a good chance of playing for the 5th seed tomorrow. And that would be huge for them, and it'll set them up for a lot more success in the year to come. But nonetheless, it's darn fun so far.
Oh, yeah, absolutely amazing to watch.
Excellent. We're going to check in with some people making all of this MRDA action possible. We'll see you in just a moment.
We are Deb Null,
And Roxy Settley of Nerd Roller Skates.
Calgary, Alberta's full-service skate shop.
We are roller derby players and roller skate nerds.
And we are here for people who roll.
My name is Lacey Knight and I skate with the Angel City Derby Girls. I've been evolving more and more into just having things that I know are going to be reliable, that they're going to last, and that they're going to do exactly what I want them to do. When you've reached a certain place in your derby career, it becomes less about how much you're spending on the equipment as it is about what it's going to do for you. I need to be able to have it conform to my foot so that it's just an extension of who I am as opposed to this thing that is now on my foot. The right L boot that I have now has been able to successfully do everything I need it to do. This year has even gotten better for me, and my skating is the best it's ever been, and it's the best boot that I've ever had.
When you don't buy Antic skate boots, you buy some other brand. When you buy some other brand, you suck at practice. When you suck at practice, you're unprepared for Team Antic USA skater Carmen Getsum. When you're unprepared for Carmen Getsum, she destroys you on the track. When she destroys you on the track, you end up on the trainer's table with a concussion and major injuries. Don't end up with a concussion and major injuries. Buy Antic skate boots.
We are Deb Null,
And Roxy Settley of Nerd Roller Skates.
Calgary, Alberta's full-service skate shop.
We are roller derby players and roller skate nerds.
And we are here for people who roll.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the MRDA 2014 Championships Maritime Mayhem, coming at you from Tacoma, Washington, in the beautiful Armory, where I really want to skate on this beautiful hardwood floor they've got out here.
I'm so excited that this is being here on this floor. As soon as I came inside, I'm like, oh, we are going to see some fun skating, and we are seeing some fun skating. This is the second period of the number 2 seeded St. Louis Gatekeepers taking on the number 7 seeded Southern Discomfort of the United Kingdom.
And we saw some really awesome things in that first half. If you're just joining us, you missed a great first half. The score is 147-58, but for a long time there, the Gatekeepers and Southern Discomfort were neck and neck. I mean, how many lead changes did we have? 4 or 5 lead changes over the course of the first 20 minutes of that period. And then Southern Discomfort started giving up some power jams, and the Gatekeepers were really able to take advantage of that. And while it's not undoable to see another lead change happen, Southern Discomfort's going to have to play really clean in this second half.
Well, Southern Discomfort's going to have to play really clean, and Gatekeepers are just going to have to also lose it too. We got 89 point lead here. It's going to be hard to come back from that. As long as Gatekeepers hold the line, keep their jammers on the track, keep the defense up, they're going to be able to take this one out. But Southern Discomfort really locked down, keep it clean. And the other thing they really need to do is really push lead jammer. That's really where, even in the beginning, the Gatekeepers were holding it down. They got the lead jammer. They were able to get those quick single scoring passes and push it and push it and push it. And it was the big jams in the second half of the first period that really pulled it away for them.
I agree. For those of you at home, if you're wondering who the heck we are, I'm Bangers and Smash.
I'm Randy Band the Go Boy.
And we are going to be getting into the action in just a couple seconds here. I see the teams huddling up, doing their little cheers as they get ready before the second half of the bout. It looks like we are going to start with a couple people in the box. I see the penalty box manager holding up, hey, these people need to come report to me. Looks like number 33, Roland Stoner, and I missed the other number because now there's a bunch of people in the way.
Well, we're going to have
380.
We're going to have a minute there because of the cut track penalty and the insubordination right after. We're not 100% on what the insubordination was for, and that's about as far as we're going to go with that.
Yeah, so we get to start with a power jam for number 11, Debaucherous Prime. Oh, we got the clarification.
The clarification I got from the jam ref during halftime was that he got the insubordination because his first action was not to leave the track. He skated around another quarter of a lap before he even made any attempt to leave the track.
All righty. So get back into the action. Debaucherous Prime with Porter on his jersey, skating. And at the front there, gets taken out by number 2, Sutton Impact. Was it number 2?
It's
number 3, actually. It just looks like a 2 from way over there.
So great defense from Southern Discomfort on this first pass here. Lead jammer has been awarded. He calls it off. Wow, no penalties on that either. Incredibly hard-hitting first pass. And are they just leaving everybody out there?
It kind of looks like it's almost the same lineup. It looks like, though, they're putting in Reaper with the stripe for pivot. So I have a feeling that the coach wants, when Roland Stoner comes back in, for a star pass to happen. Let's see if that happens.
Just have to make sure Reaper doesn't jump before he gets the star pass.
That's
only consideration there.
Shane Bauer jamming for St. Louis Gatekeepers is out and lead. Roland Stoner is standing up now, so that minute's almost over, and now he is returning to the track. Now, he did take off his helmet cover before he even got on the track, right inside the box, so it is definitely planned to be passed here. Meanwhile, Shane Bauer with another 5 points for the Gatekeepers.
Aberration picking up another penalty. Started picking up a lot later in the first half. And
Roland Stoner not really having a whole lot of luck getting that helmet cover passed over to Reaper as Shane Bauer puts another 5 points on the board for the Gatekeepers.
And he's been able to power through the frontline defense there, and finally Stoner does get through. Elects to keep the star.
He was able to find that hole. I think maybe the idea was let's get our jammer out to shut down the Gatekeepers from putting more points on the board. And since he found the inside line and was able to get out, it just made sense for him to get out.
And Gatekeepers from off the whistle on that last jam, doing what they do, splitting the defense and giving their jammers opportunity. Blackstar with some editorializing on the inside there for Southern Discomfort.
We're lined up again, number 66, Screech Around, taking on number 13, Monsieur Furio. And Monsieur Furio looked like he was getting held up by his own blockers, trying to block Screech Around there for a minute.
I think they're going for an offensive assist, and then we got the inside hit from Piston Broke.
Meanwhile, Percy Control recycling Monsieur Furio, who comes back on and takes a big hit to the outside. Kind of bounces off Double XL there.
That was the Saint number 1 for St. Louis with the hit to the outside on Furio.
Number 66, Screech Around, is lead jammer for the Gatekeepers and now is back in for scoring.
And it looks like a high block there issued to Double XL.
Screech Around coming through, picks up 4 points for the Gatekeepers, even though on the sidelines he was asking for 3.
Oh, man. Just aim higher, St. Louis. You guys, just go for it.
I think he should have asked for 5. Maybe they would have given him 8.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
2 scoring passes.
There you go. And number MI6, Ballistic Whistle, out to jam for Southern Discomfort up against number L7, Magnum PIMP.
PIMP going for the middle Ballistic Whistle as well.
And PIMP actually headed to the outside, found the hole, and lead jammer and Ballistic Whistle follows him along the outside and is also chasing him down now.
Able to shrug off a hit. They're jockeying for position in the hole, but St. Louis just picking apart the defense.
2 points for Magnum PIMP there. Good job by Nat King Kill holding up one of the blockers from Southern Discomfort, Henry the Skates, so that point could be counted. And the jam came to an end. Ballistic Whistle tried to jump and get some points, but none were awarded.
Speaking of jumping, number 666, Reaper up at the line.
And number 11, Porter, otherwise known as Debaucherous Prime, up for the Gatekeepers. The whistle's blown, and the jammer's just going to stay behind the jammer line and hit on each other for a moment.
Going for slow defense. Reaper just kind of creeps around the outside for his initial pass, lead jammer. There it is!
Oh, unfortunately, it looks like he's going to have to crawl off the track. He's not sure if he landed a foot inside or not. He calls it off. No points for either.
He can't help himself. He can't help himself. He has to. The Grim Leaper over there. Monsieur Froyo.
And Shane Bauer. Southern Discomfort down a blocker, so Gatekeepers with the advantage right now.
A little bit of offense. Shane Bauer just muscling up against the front wall.
And Shane Bauer taken out by Spectral Aberration as we have some beautiful, I don't know what that was, Matrixy-like bending by Monsieur Furio to get out of the back and lead jammer.
He was leaning all the way back, but still bouncing on his toe stops. And then Bauer just powers through on the front wall there for his initial pass.
Monsieur Furio in. He's going to be taken out by Spin Diesel and calls off the jam. Meanwhile, the ref right in front of us giving Spin Diesel an elbow on that takeout, so he's going to go sit in the penalty box. That'll put the Gatekeepers down a blocker as we get into the next jam.
Someone was upset about something. I'm not sure if it was a hit off the whistle or is that elbow call you were discussing earlier. But we don't seem to have a jammer right now. We have 5 seconds for a jammer.
Screech Around makes it for the Gatekeepers. Ballistic Whistle is ready to go already, and we're into the action. Ballistic Whistle did get up and toward the front, but then got recycled back and has to fight his way back through. And now Screech Around taking to the inside, and Blitzkrieg going to make him go as far back as possible.
That was Berserker to the hit to the inside, and a cut track penalty for Ballistic Whistle.
That means it's a power jam if Screech can get out, and There he is. A lead jammer was apparently already awarded to Ballistic Whistle because Screech Around is not lead jammer, and I didn't see a no pass, no penalty signal.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was a last minute call there. Then he got the hit out. So,
which means we're going to go for the full length of this jam. Screech Around already putting 5 on the board for the Gatekeepers.
And St. Louis, what St. Louis does, divide the defense. And Spin Diesel going into the little bit of offensive help there.
Screech Around does a nice little twist around Blitzkrieg there, who was trying to take him out on the outside line. Makes it pass, but then ends up getting taken out by Shrooms just slightly further up the track and recycled.
All the way to the back. And Ballistic Whistle is back and another cut track penalty.
That's it, number 73, Stark. Hit him to the outfield. He came back on thinking that Stark went out with him, but he didn't.
Or was out of play. That's the other thing I was thinking, because they were pretty far up, but not far enough.
So we still continue the power jam for St. Louis. Screech Around continuing to put points up on the board. Coming into the pack and getting held up by Blitzkrieg there. And now just wanted to make it around. He's through. That's going to put another 5 points on the board for the Gatekeepers.
Spin Diesel went in for the offensive opening there. The little can opener on the inside.
Meanwhile, again, the St. Louis blockers doing a really good job separating Southern Discomfort's pack as Screech comes back in, picks up another 4 points. We're going to get the timeout called by Southern Discomfort.
Believe that's their second. All right, Southern Discomfort, 34 of 58 points scored by power jams. So they're doing still doing a little bit of damage with their skaters out there. Gatekeepers, 16 of 23 jams for lead jammer there. They're killing it there. 147 to 10 with lead jammers. My goodness. Scored all 147 first half points as lead jammer. So the lead jammer, not only the numbers, but the impact when they get it is huge. That's been a huge deciding factor for them in this game. And then power jams.
And I'm just looking at the point summaries here. Shane Bauer and Magnum PIMP doing a lot of the scoring here for St. Louis. Magnum PIMP was 65 points on the board, and Shane Bauer with 45. Screech Around with 50. And then on the other side of the coin, we've got 30 points for Ballistic Whistle, and the next highest scoring jammer is 22 from Mr. Furio. We're about to get back into the action. Number L7 Magnum PIMP up on the jam line for the Gatekeepers, taking on number 13 Monsieur Furio.
21 penalties for the Gatekeepers, 28 for Southern Discomfort right now. Oh, that is the Nerd Skates jammer.
Both jammers still hung up at the pack as we come around into turn number 2, but Magnum PIMP finds a way through. He's lead jammer for the Gatekeepers. Monsieur Furio, meanwhile, recycled back and has to start all over again.
He goes defense there in the end, trying to catch PIMP. PIMP finds his way through the inside.
Just basically crawled right through the pack there.
Crawled kind of underneath the pack.
Monsieur Furio coming around the outside of turn number 3, takes his shoulder from Wrecking Bill and then tries to return it right back.
Wow, keeps his feet in as he slides through. Initial pass, but PIMP quickly muscles the inside for yet another scoring pass.
The Rolling Stoner is back in the penalty box. This is the 6th penalty for Rolling Stoner, and that one, the last one being a multiplayer block, so they're going to have to be very careful, or they're going to have their first foul out of the game here on Southern Discomfort's bench.
And he's seen a handful of jams as a jammer, so that's one less out of the jammer rotation for them if that's the case.
Number 666 Reaper taking on number 11 Debaucherous Prime with Porter on his jersey right now.
Offensive help in the front there. They give Reaper a little bit of leg room, and he is dancing to the front.
Reaper makes it around Stark, and his lead jammer, here comes, he's coming in, and jump. Yep. There it was. And that's going to be 5 more points on the board for Southern Discomfort.
Porter was able to get himself out of this initial pass there, but Reaper's far enough in front that he wants to try to grab at least a point or two.
And he gets the point for Percy Control, I'm guessing. We'll see if a finger's held up. There it is. 1 point for Percy Control at the back of the pack there, trying to hold him up.
Stoner staying out there.
And keeping the stripe on his helmet. This could be a bad decision if a penalty is picked up by Stoner.
Well, Monsieur Furiot out there, Monsieur Furiot is in a good position to get himself out. Probably won't need to worry about a cat pass there.
And you say that as he goes into the wall and takes a spill to the floor.
Oh, man, I apologize. I set that one up.
Yeah, both jammers really having a time with this pack. And you know what it is. Every time an announcer says the box has got nobody in it or something like that, you know it's going to cause something to happen on the track.
I was just giving him a little comfort, and it looks like, yes, Bauer is able to make it around the outside.
Monsieur Furiot, meanwhile, up against Bled Zeppelin and number 16.
So it looks like Southern Discomfort beat the spread from the first game for the first time.
Monsieur Furiot at the front of the wall there, really throwing that shoulder, looking for it as Shane Bauer comes in, does a nice spinning jump and
like a pirouette 1 foot jump through the outside there.
That's it. Ballet players make the best roller derby players, and it looks like we did get this star pass that I was talking about. Could be dangerous.
I cursed it. You were right.
Stoner now with the star, but luckily the jam comes to an end. I said luckily because if he got into the pack and gotten a penalty, it could have meant bad things for Southern Discomfort.
The Gatekeepers would have just pushed it all the way. Had a lot of room to.
Alrighty, we're going to line him back up again. Number L7, Magnum PI MP, up against number MI6, Ballistic Whistle.
4-3 blocker advantage. And again, that's the second time Magnum PIMP has drawn the back block from the inside hit. As soon as he sees it coming, he positions himself to the back, to the inside, so the impact happens on the back. He doesn't even fight it. He just lets it roll him out of bounds, and he gets a power jam out of it.
That's the way to do it. And Magnum PIMP fighting his way through the front side of the pack. Stops on the line there as he goes over just a little bit to see what happens. Comes back in and then gets taken out and has to recycle and start all over again.
That was Samdroid with the force out there.
There we are. Magnum PIMP through the pack and lead jammer for the Gatekeepers. Ballistic Whistle coming back from the penalty box, kind of just nonchalantly entering the track, waiting for Magnum PIMP. He does hit him out. He's trying to run him back, but Magnum PIMP says, "Why would I do that?" and calls off the jump.
Yeah, I mean, really, PIMP wanted, he could have just stopped there, not even called it off and waited, because the time is clearly in favor of the Gatekeepers at that point. So it was kind of generous to call that off at that point.
Yeah, at that point, had I been Magnum PIMP, I might have been like, well, let's just sit here for 2 minutes and do nothing. But that doesn't make for good derby, so.
No, he's doing it for the fans, man. He's doing it for the fans.
That's it. It's all for those of you watching at home that this next jam is happening when it's happening. Lots of sixes out there, Screech Around and Reaper jamming. Screech Around stealing Reaper's tactic, jumps out and gets lead for the Gatekeepers. Everybody with a 6 must jump now, apparently.
And already up against there, Reaper going for the outside, takes the hit.
Screech Around now with just 2 to beat at the front side of the pack. Makes it around Stoner. He was in, it looks like, but then he came off the track. Maybe there was a hit that he thought he was out, so he wanted to go back around, so he's going to start that pass all over again.
He just cut through the middle of the track there to the back of the pack, because that's how spread apart it was. Ooh, someone got a high block.
And there we go. This time Screech through on his toe stop. Some nice fast footwork. 5 more points on the board for the Gatekeepers. And the jam is called as there is a skater down.
Looks like Reaper there. I believe it was a result of the high block that was called. And we're checking in on him. He's getting up without his helmet. It looks like, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of blood coming out of the mouth there. The EMTs are going to take good care of him.
Yeah, he is not a happy camper. It doesn't look like there's any ref discussion There it is. There it is. We might see something as far as impact discussion, but it doesn't look like they're going to adjust that at all. And we are going to move forward here. There we go. Monsieur Foyot.
Up against Debaucherous Prime, who is wearing Porter on his jersey this time. Whistle is blown. Both jammers are just going to
hug.
Yeah.
Oh, there they go. There you go. Okay.
Porter with a nice little fake out. I'm going to pass my helmet cover there, and that got the action started.
The not helmet pass. Blitzkrieg trying to go in for a little bit of offense.
Monsieur Furio recycles behind the Saint and has to start all over again. Meanwhile, Debaucherous Prime really taking a beating at the front side of the back. Monsieur Furio, though, coming through quick lead jammer for Southern Discomfort.
Muscles through the inside. Gatekeepers outscoring Southern Discomfort 53-9 in this second half here so far. So Furio dropped back a little bit.
Mr. Furio calling off the jam. Was it too late? Oh, it was.
Yeah,
3 points to 2 points, giving up 2 points because of the late call off there.
It was a big hit from Blitzkrieg, though.
New jammer up for Southern Discomfort. We haven't seen him jam yet. Number 1 up, Shrooms.
He's been having pretty good impact in the pack. A couple of really big jams for him earlier.
Let's see if he can pull it off as a good jammer for Southern Discomfort here. Up against number 32, Shane Bauer. The jam whistle is blown. Now, Shane's got an easy pack to get through with just 2, and there he goes. He's through lead jammer to the Gatekeepers.
He's got 2 left, but they are able to stop him and reset the defense and get the force out. Bauer already against picking off 1, gets around Stoner. 4 or 5 points.
Now, Banana back there skating with St. Louis this season, doing a really good job holding up Shrooms, able to take him out and recycle him. Shane Bauer, meanwhile, at the front of the pack here, up against Stoner, who only has 1 penalty left before he fouls out.
Flirting with an out of play there.
He was, but he managed to hold up Bauer for a little while there.
Shrooms almost pirouetting out the outside, drop back.
Bauer through for another 5 points. Nat King Kill off to the penalty box.
I think it was a direction to play. I'm not 100% on that.
It was, in fact, a direction to play.
Good.
Shane Bauer coming back in. He is just basically driving his way through that wall of white.
Powerful, powerful jammer.
Another 5 points for the Gatekeepers there as Shrooms hands off the star to Stoner. So Shane Bauer, who's back in to score, probably if he saw it happen. Yeah, he saw it happen.
Yeah,
He's going to go ahead and call off the jam. Let's see how many more points he got during that pass. 2 more.
2 more. Running away with it at this point. 12 minutes left. And at this point, I imagine both. It looks like we have a cut there on sudden impact. At this point in the team, at this point in the bout, I think both teams maybe can start looking forward. As far as the next bout, we'll probably see a little bit of change in rotation. We've seen a little bit on Gatekeepers, and we're starting to see it a little bit here with Southern Discomfort changing up the jammer lineup, and we're seeing a little bit by not really taking off at the whistle.
That is it. Now, I think what was going on there was Magnum PIMB was probably waiting to see if Monsieur Furio would do what he's done in the past and draw that back block by trying to hit him out.
Go for it. Go for it. Hit me out. Hit me out. Hit me out. Go for it. Dare you.
Monsieur Furio with lead jammer in the pack now, working his way through past Stark. And he's looking. Wow. Magnum PIMP is into the pack, so he's going to go ahead and let it keep going. There's 4 points for both jammers on those last passes.
Trading points right now. And not a bad call at this point to trade points here. On one hand, you can kill the clock. On one hand, you can take advantage of your blockers and push it up. But, ooh, dangerously close to high block from Monsieur Furio.
And Monsieur Furio gets back up, picks up 3 points, calls off the jam before any more points can be put up on the Gatekeeper side of the board. Go right ahead, please.
Ballistic Whistle number MI6 out there jamming for Southern Discomfort. And Screech around number 66 for Gatekeepers. Little pile up, everyone trying to disassemble the pack.
Both jammers coming out almost neck and neck, but Screech around picks up a cutting the track penalty, so lead jammer to Ballistic Whistle, and it's a power jam for Southern Discomfort.
The crowd is cheering. The crowd really enjoys Southern Discomfort here. We love the international play. Discomfort almost able to pick her out. It's Percy Control with the hit to the outside there.
So Ballistic recycling, starting all over again. Oh, big impact onto Spin Diesel. We're going to get a forearm call on Ballistic Whistle, so we're going to change things up, and Screech around will come back.
It looked like he was trying to shoulder in on that, but if his arm got any of that, yeah, that's going to get the forearm call.
Screech around decides to take the long way around the track, comes back in outside the engagement zone on the front side and goes around. And, oh my goodness, that's going to be Spectral Aberration picking up his 6th penalty for a direction of gameplay. Screech around going to be out and eligible to score.
Everybody's going to the penalty box right now. And finally on the inside.
Screech through for 5. Ballistic Whistle has returned to the track and is now working his way through and is taken out by Wrecking Bill.
And Wrecking Bill gets an out of play at the front. He is very upset about that call. It's pretty fun to watch how upset he is about that call.
Both jammers putting up points on that last pass there as Ballistic Whistle back into the pack, gets taken out by Bled Zeppelin this time.
Almost jumped in, and that would have not fared well for him.
Screech around also taken to the inside by Rolling Stoner. So both jammers get a start this pass over again. The jam has come to an end. 2 points for Southern Discomfort and 4 for the Gatekeepers on that last pass.
It's getting a little chippy out there. I'd like to thank Fast Girl Skates. We were the very first roller derby storefront 7 years ago, and we thank you for the years of support. Derby owned and operated with the most knowledgeable staff ever. Take advantage of huge savings during October, our Customer Appreciation Month. Avoid the, quote, big box, unquote, websites, and stick with us, the first and the best Fast Girl Skates. Piston broke jamming and hands it off right away. And who is also sitting on 6, by the way. Oh no, he's only on 5. 5. He got 5 in the first 15 minutes of the first half and hasn't seen a penalty since.
This is true. For a second there, I thought I saw him throw the helmet cover, which would not be acceptable, but he actually kept it in his hand. He was just throwing his arm, trying to get it past those Gatekeeper blockers who were really watching what he was doing. Now we do have the successful helmet cover past him, Monsieur Furio, but Debaucherous Prime is out and is already picking up points for the Gatekeeper.
And looks like Furio is doing a few fun spins there.
Furio with a last-minute jump over the apex, does not land it in time, though. No points awarded to Southern Discomfort. One more for the Gatekeepers during that last pass.
I was starting to wonder, are we going to see a lot more helmet passes from Southern Discomfort just to stop the bleeding, just to limit the number of scoring passes right now? But then we got Reaper out there with the star on the helmet, so I doubt that.
Taking on Shane Bauer. These two have been out there on the track together in the past.
One will push, one will jump.
Let's see if we can guess who. No.
Diamond defense in the back, courtesy of Gatekeepers on Reaper.
But up at the front, Shane Bauer also having some trouble against the Southern Discomfort. And it's a cutting the track penalty on Reaper, so he's going to go sit down for a 30-second break while Shane Bauer takes lead jammer.
And he pushes through for that, and then Gatekeepers do as Gatekeepers do, split the defense. Direction of play called there on Gatekeepers.
Yeah, Spin Diesel off to the penalty box. Shane Bauer, meanwhile, just kind of continuing to roll around on the wall of white that is Southern Discomfort's blockers there. Gets taken out by
Spectral Aberration was got the force out on that.
Thank you very much. And he has to recycle and start all over again. So now he's trapped once again in that 3-wall. Roland Stoner being held up by the Gatekeepers defense. Going to make it a split pack.
And they got to let it go.
Spectral Aberration getting the penalty for for multiplayer. I'm sorry. So that is going to mean he's got 7. More than likely, we'll see him no longer on the bench.
He's going to be escorted, out pretty quick. Rolling Stoner out there almost picked up the helmet penalty. He's been sitting on 6 for a while. They've been putting it out there fairly large rotation nonetheless, but hasn't picked up that 7th yet.
Has not. Yeah, Spectral Aberration picking up the 7th. He's being asked to leave the track, so we'll have somebody else sitting in for him as the next jam goes.
Piston broke out jamming again. I anticipate a quick handoff there. And it looks like, Nat King Kill out there for his first jam. Both teams setting themselves up for the later games.
Yeah, testing things out, seeing how it goes. It's not a bad idea when you've got the point spread we're seeing right now.
Yeah. Set yourself up for success later.
Nat King Kill shows he's got what it takes to get through this wall anyway. Lead jammer going to the St. Louis Gatekeepers.
And I think Piston drew the same back block play on Percy control that Magnum PIMP was getting earlier.
4 more points for Nat King Kill on the pass. Piston broke, getting some major cheers from the audience as he gets lead jammer and manages to pull a back block on Percy control there.
Take a play out of PIMP's book. Speaking of, Monsieur Furio at the line there, nowhere near
Magnum PIMP.
Specifically back.
Oh, but look.
PMP is like.
That's right. He's kind of, hey, you want to hit me in the back?
Right here. PIMP forcing his way through the middle of the wall there. Furio going for the outside, going over his own teammate.
And Furio just wrecking Bill to go. He does it. He's out and lead jammer for Southern Discomfort.
Nice offensive opening in the middle of the wall there by Gatekeepers for a quick pass.
Monsieur Furio coming in, takes a hit to the outside. He felt that line under his toe stop before he came back in. He gets 2 points, but he does give up 1 for the late call-off. Magnum PIMP getting 1 point as the jam whistles were being blown.
And credit to the late call-off. PIMP got through quick. I mean, 9 out of 10 jammers, that probably would not have been that extra point.
And I would say Monsieur Furio was a little concerned with whether or not he was going to get a cutting the track penalty there at the end, too. So that probably also lended to the later call-off.
Not worth it. Not worth it. Good call, Furio.
Reaper taking on Screech Around, so it's all 6s with the star. And Screech Around finds the front side of the pack first. Lead jammer going to the Gatekeepers. And oh no, it's going to be a cutting the track penalty on Reaper. That means power jam for Screech Around.
Screech Around quickly jumps through the middle of the 3-wall there for 5 points. And Piston in the back there, he's in the trap right now.
That means it's just a matter of time before Screech Around gets out. Comes up against Shrooms as the last line of defense. He's through for 5 more points for the Gatekeepers.
So the Discomfort really spread it out to the front there, making an easier pass for Screech Around.
And again, Screech Around coming in. The Gatekeepers defense keeping 1 blocker back. Screech, though, didn't even have to stretch out the pack that time. Another 5 points on the board.
Defense resets in the front. All 4 blockers there in position.
The Gatekeepers getting lined up and ready for Reaper to return to the track. See if maybe they can get another cutting the track off of him here. Screech Around taken to the infield, and a big falls happening on the floor there as Furio tries to break through the Gatekeepers defensive wall.
Reaper fell on there. No call resulting from it, though.
That's the end of the jam. Another 3 points picked up by Screech Around on that pass.
And he called it off. Despite, having the advantage in there, they went ahead and called it off. We have less than a minute left. I imagine we're not going to see a timeout before the end of this bout.
So we're going to start with Monsieur Furio taking on number 11 Porter. You might know him as Debaucherous Prime. The penalty box is clear right now, so it is full 5-on-5. I just want to see if it works.
Stoner trying to draw the cut. Stoner sitting on 6 in what is probably going to be the last jam and did not get out. So kudos to him for adjusting his gameplay to stay on the track.
I have a pretty good feeling since lead jammer has gone to Debaucherous Prime and there's only 12 seconds showing on the period clock, he's probably going to go ahead and let it burn. And he just put up 5 points, so why not just go out with some extra points without having to risk it. He's going real slow toward the pack. He does not want to take the chance of losing the lead. Lets the clock run out. He calls it off.
Respectable. 201-point win for St. Louis Gatekeepers. What started out as a really close first 15-20 minutes became a runaway after that.
And I think you pointed out earlier the two things that led to this huge score gap is the number of times that St. Louis was able to get out and get lead, and also the penalties that were given up by Southern Discomfort did not help.
Yeah, they held it pretty even as far as penalties for a while, but the jammer penalties were definitely hurting. I mean, but all things being equal, St. Louis has incredible execution from their blockers, incredible execution, incredible defense, incredible skating. And they really dialed it up, peppered in a little more offense in the game than we're used to seeing in the past. Great about splitting the defense when they had the advantage. It's not so much that they had the advantages, but they knew exactly how to capitalize on them. And I think that's what really led them to pull it away. I think they enjoyed their bout. With Southern Discomfort, they came out with a lot of great team gameplay, a lot of right place win. They needed to be. But for getting out their lead jammer, the execution wasn't quite there. And for capitalizing in the long run, I wasn't there against St. Louis. But I think they're taking a lot away from this. And I think they hopefully will set themselves up for a little more success in the rest of this tournament.
I absolutely agree. And congratulations to the St. Louis Gatekeepers who take the win in this game. They've taken their victory lap. And you guys are definitely going to want to stick around. There's a lot more Men's Roller Derby Association championships coming at you today. Up next, who do we got, Randy?
Well, we have Mass coming in, the number 6 seed, and they will be taking on the New York Stock Exchange, who just barely came into the 3rd seed from a really close loss to St. Louis here. Mass missing some people, so we were a lot of people were looking at that as a possible upset, but it looks good for New York Stock Exchange. However, we'll see. We'll see who's out there, and we'll see who's going to do it. And that's going to be battling for semifinals tomorrow, which right now, whoever wins the next bout will be taking on St. Louis in tomorrow morning's semifinals. And I believe we are going to send it
to the floor.
We are going to send it to the floor. Is in position right there. Or we're going to hold on there for just a second here. So, yeah. And then after that, I'm excited for the Puget Sound Outcast taking on Portland Men's Roller Derby Bridgetown Menace, the 4-5 seed.
I believe that's a game everybody out there, especially watching at home, is definitely waiting for that game, because the last time those two came up against each other, it was a 2-point game.
2-point game, and even the 2 bouts before that was decided under 30 points. It's almost always down to the last jam with those two teams, and both want to go and move forward and to take a shot to jump into the top 3, which they haven't had. They've always been sitting at the 4 through 6 between the two of them, and one of the Northwest teams really wants to try to take a chance to jump up here, and it'll be fun to see that happen.
I agree.
Exciting stuff here. Moving forward, we're going to see Denton tonight. A little later on in the later brackets, we're going to see Southern Discomfort. On the later brackets, whoever doesn't move on here, I believe will be taking on Southern Discomfort, is my understanding. And we'll see what takes place on that. Do we have an interview? Yes, we will be handing it over now to Affiliate Melons and Raucous Ron.
Okay, throw it over to those two.
Okay, we're throwing it over to those two.
All right, and welcome back. I'm Ophelia Mellons.
I'm Raucous Ron.
And you've just watched St. Louis put a little bit of a spanking on Southern Discomfort.
A little discomfort.
Discomfort, absolutely. Yeah. Final score of 288-87, which coincidentally is very similar to the score at 2014 Spring Roll, within about 20 points on either side.
Yeah, Southern Discomfort are definitely a team that's building and growing and getting better all the time, but they came up against a wrecking ball in the St. Louis Gatekeepers.
And while we saw So Disco's abilities in the first 20 minutes of this game, there were 5 lead changes just in the first 20 minutes. That game was the last tie was about 58-58, about 20 minutes into the first half, and then after that, St. Louis took off. And something that was the most incredible to me about St. Louis is their walls were airtight. There was no room.
Definitely. St. Louis, known for the walls. They've got a lot of really big guys, the guys that can get in there and really fill up the wall. So, incredible job by them, but as expected.
Yes, absolutely. And this is a really hard-hitting game, much more so than the game at 9 this morning. Well, can you blame them?
Even though the Gatekeepers came out victorious, I think they're going to come out with some bruises on this one because Southern Discomfort, giving them some discomfort too in that department.
Yes, and I was seeing smart hits. I wasn't seeing any crazy swinging, but everything was just so strong but so controlled. So very impressive. And so that means that St. Louis is going to go on to play the winning match tomorrow at 11 a.m., and that's going to be against the winner of New York Shock Exchange versus Mass Maelstrom. Right?
And that's a great one coming up. Mass Maelstrom gone down twice, maybe 3 times a charm. So, but New York Shock Exchange ready to come in again, looking for that championship. So, great matchup either way you go, but New York Shock Exchange clearly the favorite.
Yes, and so that means that Southern Discomfort will go on to play later tonight at 7 p.m. versus the losing team of the Puget Sound Outcasts and Bridgetown Menace, which is a game I know everybody is looking forward to.
That's really the one that we're an upset as possible on this first day. Those two teams play very close, and we've seen it all year. Every time they play, they're just neck and neck. So exciting action coming all day. WFTDA.TV.
That's right.
MRDA Championships.
All right. Well, enjoy the rest of Maritime Mayhem coming up next at 1 o'clock. New York Shock Exchange taking on Mass Maelstrom.
We are Devin All
And Roxy Settling of Nerd Roller Skates.
Calgary, Alberta's full-service skate shop.
We are roller derby players and roller skate nerds.
And we are here for the people who roll.
They told us to just sell skates online. You won't have any overhead. Put some skulls in your advertising, you'll make a mint. That was never our plan. Our plan was to make a store where all day we are fitting skaters, fixing skates, teaching customers, and putting the best gear on their bodies. Before we put 3 W's in front of our name, we made sure we had hundreds of happy customers come through our doors. We're not just Derby owned, we're Derby dedicated. Fast Girl Skates.